So I work with a lot of interesting, colorful characters. I do tutoring, and some of my students have very interesting character. One of my students has what I like to call an eighth deadly sin: haste. He hears something and he gets excited. He's learning C++. He gets excited, and before I can say anything, he's already running something on his computer. And oftentimes, had he just hung in there, he would have thought of something even better to do, right? So I can only imagine if he played. I play at a Pokemon TCG event. I can only imagine the kind of blunders he would make playing Pokemon TCG, or backgammon, or chess, right? And fortunately, he's working with C++, right? If he were doing chemistry experiments, oh my god, I can only imagine the result. Although he might discover something interesting, right? A lot of interesting chemicals were discovered by mistake. Now, I want to mention something. He and his family have relatively healthy habits. I've been to his home a few times tutoring him, and they have a lot of healthy foods in the place. You know, one of the things that makes me nervous about going to a family's home for tutoring is that I have allergies to some of the air fresheners that people like to plug in. And so there's always a little bit of hesitation the first time I go to a family's home. If something doesn't go right, I have to find an excuse to pull myself away from it. And I've had times where I just straight up have to tell the family, you know, we can meet somewhere else, right? Fortunately, a lot of things have opened up recently, and I have to find a way to tell them that doesn't hurt them, right? A lot of times people can get very sensitive, especially if they're using some kind of what they perceive as their own personal choice or even a religious choice. You got to be very sensitive to all that. But I got a good feeling as I pulled into the driveway because I see a bag of organic dog food, and so I'm thinking they must have really healthy habits. And my first thought was, this kid is way too overweight to be eating healthy foods. And then I start working on tutoring with him, and I can kind of see why. He's always jumping for stuff, right? He sees something he likes to eat, he doesn't even think about it, he stuffs his face, right? I've never seen him stuff his face, but given his attitude with his homework, I can just see him doing that, right? Oh my god. And I've never seen him eat, but I can already see how he does it. Now, getting back to haste, I find a lot of times I behave like that as well. As you guys know, I've gone 14 days without masturbating. And the unfortunate thing is that with him, and you can never take back something you've eaten. For me, I can never take back times where I've masturbated, and I feel a great sense of guilt. And here's why. I'm not going to say any names here, but there's a celebrity that I like from halfway around the world, and I've watched her since I was a kid, and I used to masturbate a lot while watching her. Now, there's another reason why I masturbated while watching her. I used to be very upset that she refused to date anybody, right? She was in her, she was in her mid-20s when she became famous. And then for the next 15 years, I would watch year after year go by. Everybody she worked around dated, eventually got married. Some of them had children, right? And she didn't get involved in all that. And it made me really upset that she was kind of just jealously guarding her body. And it made me, in my mind, want to beat her up, right? And that's part of the reason why I fantasized about her while I was masturbating. And now we've become very close. And I feel a great sense of guilt in the years past when I masturbated, thinking about her. And it's made me think very, very hard before I do anything that I cannot easily take back, right? If I write a stupid computer game and it does badly at the computer Olympiad, at least I learn something from it, right? Anytime I do something involving my body, now I think very hard about it, because you can never take that back, right? I'll always feel a great sense of guilt, and Unfortunately, the two of us have become very close because we share some common philosophy, including what I used to be upset about her about, right? If we end up being even closer, that's something that I'll have to, that's a regret that I'll have to carry for the rest of my life, right? Anyway, I think haste ought to be a deadly sin, right? I'm surprised that it's not.